Monday morning at 6 on KVEC.
You didn't build that. If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own.
If I don't have this done in 3 years, then there's going to be a one-term proposition. The buck stops with you.
Angelson and Mercury.
Nice going back in a very healthy direction.
Somebody's gotta say it. We will be. The real conservative truth lives here. It's the LHMusic Director Radio Show.
Okay, third last hour from the campus of UNO, LHMusicTime Stu, and us again here.
Which is coming up this weekend. 888-727-BECK, 888-727-BECK. We knew it would get dicey after the awful performance of the president at the debate the other night. And so, what happens right away?
Well, you know,
I can't imagine
the events in the Middle East. You know this. We've discussed a lot of these things over the years. I was one of the few people that saw the Muslim Brotherhood and their rise to power. I wish people understood a little bit better what was going to happen there. I am most concerned about the rise that we're living through, a time, an era that I would call the rise of the radical Islamists. Am I wrong?
Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I thought it was outrageous that our government deserted Mubarak, knowing that the Muslim Brotherhood and the Islamists who want to kill us, if you're a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu, they want to convert you or make you accept Islam as supreme. They are enemies of the United States, and we threw Mubarak under the bus and are now working with someone who does not have our best interest at heart.
Well, it's worse than that, because he supports this caliphate. He supported Hamas over the years, referred to the Israelis as vampires.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, well, he believes in this caliphate of which you were describing.
Right.
Now, the White House had time to meet with the Muslim Brotherhood, which to me, and we're giving them literally a fortune. You know, billions of taxpayer dollars, and even in spite of recent events, they're demanding that the U.S. that we silence, that we have blasphemy laws in this country that would prevent freedom of religion, freedom of speech.
Correct.
Obama still wants to give him another $450 million.
And I think he's wrong.
Why are you supporting him still for president?
Well, I'll explain in a brief way. Firstly, there are more issues involved than just foreign affairs and Israel, and I am a very strong supporter of Israel, as you know. But there are also the issues domestically of Medicare and Social Security and Medicaid and abortion and food stamps and taxing the rich, and those are very important issues.
Yes.
I had come to the conclusion that the president, after my conversations with him and his actions at the UN and keeping the Palestinian Authority out as a state and making a very strong speech at the UN, and Ehud Barak, the defense minister, saying that there has never been better intelligence relationship and military relationship than exists now, I came to the conclusion that the foreign affairs was adequate from my point of view as it related to Israel, and that with respect to domestic affairs, the Republicans are simply unsupportable. For the reasons I've given, you would be on the other side, but on domestic issues, they are just the pits from my point of view.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness!
So basically, you're saying you're the pits, according to my point of view. Look, I'm not going to get into a deep argument with you. I have a lot of respect for you, and I am very troubled just to stay on one issue at a time.
I'm troubled too, and I'm trying to get the president to... You know, I've never had a perfect candidate. I wasn't the perfect candidate. And I'm trying to get the president to say that an attack upon Israel would be an attack upon the United States. I'm trying to get the president
Not going to do
They're not
it.
going to do it.
Well, who knows? I'm trying to get him to do it. I believe that he also ought to have a fireside chat on TV to deal with the one issue that's very difficult for me to deal with. People say, why do you believe that he'll do all the things he says he will do after he's elected, and he doesn't need the Jewish community, and won't he then renege? And my response is, he's an honorable man, and I believe that he will keep his commitments. Now, that doesn't solve the problem, because so many people don't believe it. And I think he has to convince them. And the best way to convince them is to speak out in a televised interview where he's questioned responsibly but fairly and respectfully.
But can I ask you, Mr. Mayor? Can I ask you, Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor.
He had plenty of time for The View, plenty of time for Beyonce and Jay-Z. He had plenty of time for Letterman, plenty of time after Benghazi to fly out to Vegas for money.
You know,
Bibi Netanyahu's in town, and his answer is no, I don't have time to meet with you.
I raised that with
That's a
the White
threat.
House, not with the president directly, but with people who would know the answer. And they deny that any formal request was made. That's
Hang on a
Hang
second.
on a
I
second.
raised that with the Prime Minister's office.
Yeah.
And I got confirmation, indeed, they did request a meeting with the president.
Well, then somebody's lying, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I've known Benjamin
Netanyahu
Netanyahu now
now
for many years. He
years.
blurred my first book back in 2002. And I didn't speak to him directly, but I spoke to people very close to him.
I understand. And I like Bibi. He's not actually someone I would have voted for. I would have voted for Barack.
I like A.Hall Barack too.
I don't like Barack Obama because
But in
he's
any
such
event,
stupid
what I'm trying to
damages.
say is, I am trying very hard to do the right thing. And for me, the right thing is to preserve our domestic issues. We've been through that. And to get the president to do more on the foreign affairs side than he's currently doing. And I am not going to give up until I see that it's impossible to do. Now, I want to say about Mitt Romney that he's very good on Israel. Always has been. He has a personal relationship with Bibi Netanyahu. But I believed up until this point, and still do, that the president is in the ballpark. I'm trying to get him to hit a home run.
I just look, Mr. Mayor, we've been friends a long time. I have a lot of respect for you. I just couldn't disagree with you more. And for the president to say, first of all, he goes to the UN. That speech was an embarrassment to me, especially when you compare it to Bibi Netanyahu's. That's the speech our president should have given. Netanyahu and Ehud Barak are speaking as one voice with moral clarity. We've got a regime that is threatening to wipe Israel off the map, and we have a president repeatedly, oh, so sorry. We condemn this stupid movie trailer, which nobody saw, that was released in July. I think the president was pandering, and his audience was radical Islamists, and the fact that he thinks that he can
I think they changed their position on that. That was their original position, and now there is, I think, a different position that they don't believe that it was the...
But go back to the UN speech. The UN speech was weeks after we knew that this was a terror attack.
I would absolutely agree with you, and now there is an investigation by the State Department to look into the issue and find out who erred in declaring it something other than an act.
But well after that date, my only point to you, Mr. Mayor, is well after the point where we knew beyond any doubt, incontrovertible evidence confirmed by our intelligence, as a report out by ABC News today, they have an email proving that the administration rejected requests for additional security in Libya. Look,
my point is
this guy doesn't see what is going on. He called Fort Hood after a guy screams Allahu Akbar and shoots up innocent people at Fort Hood. He said it was workplace violence. He wanted to use the term man-caused disaster and overseas contingency operation. He has a fear of calling out terrorists for who they are. And I just see such weakness and pandering and apology. I can't take it
anymore.
You don't have to convince me that the administration is not as good as I would like it to be. no question about that. And I am working very hard. And I must say I'm very disappointed in our senators. Where are the senators?
Me too.
Me too. I'm very angry.
It's pathetic. But I don't believe I would be doing my job as a good American and who has access to people around the president. I don't want to convey to you that I can call up the president, because I can't. But I do call up and people around him. And I am trying desperately to get an administration that I can support domestically and on foreign affairs. Now, you don't have a problem domestically with your
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
No, and
I don't have a problem.
You. I mean, I'm not
I don't have a
telling you
problem.
that.
No, we've always disagreed on these issues. It's nothing new.
But I think that they are important.
Well, they're very important. We have 1 in 6 Americans in poverty. We have 25 million unemployed Americans.
And without getting into, you know, the nitty-gritty, they want to cut food stamps.
No, they don't want to cut.
They don't want to cut food
stamps.
stamps.
Working again. They don't want to cut.
But they're not working. If you could get jobs, it'd be wonderful.
They're not working because the president's policies is shovel-ready jobs. So shovel-ready.
Well, I mean, we don't want to go into that.
I give up.
Can I just tell you my greatest fear, and then I don't want. This is what I see happening in the world. I think it's much bigger. I see a president that is weak, a president that panders, a president that doesn't understand what a radical Islamic caliphate is about. I actually fear that, and I call Ahmadinejad Adolf Jr. When you talk about annihilating an entire country repeatedly, when you deny the Holocaust the way he has, as they pursue nuclear weapons, and now you see surrounding Israel, they're surrounded by enemies, that if they have one common viewpoint, it's their hatred of Israel and desire to eliminate Israel. I don't think this president is clueless. It's clueless, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
Well, I wouldn't say he's clueless. When he says we have Israel's back, so I say, what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it goes in.
He's trying to convey that he recognizes the special relationship between Israel and the United States.
Then why would he?
I said from the very beginning.
Then why?
I'm not happy with his position. I want to make it stronger.
Can I ask you this?
Can I ask you one more question?
Bibi Netanyahu in the White House, how insulting to our closest ally. When
that was the first time when he didn't take him up to, for dinner.
That was the first. Then the second time is.
Was I one of those who denounced it?
Yes, you were. And then the second time is Bibi's in the air flying to the United States, and the news has announced something we promised Israel we'd never ask them to do: return to 67 borders, which are indefensible. In other words, they will be a vulnerable country.
There I want to disagree with you. I happen to be against our requiring them to start at 67 borders. But that is and has been the policy ever since 67 with every president since. I want that policy changed. But it isn't Obama who changed the policy.
No.
He is simply carrying it out. When I had my meeting with him, I said to him, I don't agree with you on that, but I wouldn't have denounced you if you had, at the same time, denounced Hamas, which he said, didn't I? And I said, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Oh, boy.
Listen, I pray I'm wrong. I wrote the book Deliver Us from Evil a number of years back.
Yeah.
In the last century, I'm not telling you anything
you
you
right
don't know,
now,
but in the last century, 100 million people were slaughtered. Evil exists. I believe radical Islamists are hell-bent on this caliphate. I believe the numbers of radicals are much higher than anybody wants to talk about.
So that everybody knows what you mean by the caliphate. They want to put every Muslim country under a single theocratic religious ruler running from Spain all the way to Indonesia with a population of 1,400,000,000 people. It will be the greatest threat to this world since Genghis Khan when he threatened the world. And I think it's got to be stopped. I think we're in for a 50-year war. This is very similar to when the Muslims were at the gates of Vienna. The question is, will the United States and Western countries have the resolve